And so I speak from that place. And I made a lot of mistakes myself in the last 22 years, mistakes that I don't want you to make. And what I will say to you all today on your first night, that there's going to be someone and some people that are going to try to shut you down. And I want you to do a few things. I want you to stand your ground. And I want you to look out for one another. Your safety is in one another. We keep us safe. They will say you are wrong. Your local media is going to say you are wrong, and they may say a whole lot of things about you. But I promise you 20 years from now, you're going to be right. And your school will probably put you on a page on their website and talk about the incredible student activism of 2024. I promise you, because I've seen it before. And I remind your administrators that you stand in a long tradition of student activism that ended the Vietnam War, that ended South African apartheid, and that universities who divested from South Africa can also divest from the state of Israel. So when it gets hard, remember those that came before you. Remember your ancestors and people that look just like you, who risked everything for the things that they believed in. And I'll say this to my young Muslims that are here. You are incredible, and you are amazing, and you make me so proud to be a Muslim in this moment. Because we Muslims believe that rizq, which is another way of saying blessings or wealth, is from God. And so, if that job was meant to be, you will get it. If that scholarship was meant to be, you will get it. Do not ever compromise your values or principles for worldly things. These material things are temporary. But what we want to leave this earth with is integrity, with our dignity, and the legacy of standing up for what is right. So yes, your education is important. And I believe in my heart, just like those before you who did what you did were able to continue to be successful people, you will be successful here at this campus or somewhere else. So they start to give you deadlines, and they try to intimidate you. But remember, you are better than the system. You are better than the opposition. And we will not ever find ourselves at the level of the opposition. We don't replicate the oppressor, because that's what the oppressor wants you to do. They want you to replicate who they are. But we are a people of solidarity. We are a people who are fighting for liberation and for freedom. And whether the opposition believes it or not, we are fighting for their liberation by extension. I was just at the US border, the US-Mexico border, which is why I'm here with some of my colleagues. Because our country's still doing some things at the border, terrorizing migrants who are coming to this country to get a better life. Did you know that our country, there used to be a place called Friendship Park right over this border here, where families used to be able to touch through the border, and grandmas could meet their grandchildren, and families could be reunited even if it was just for a little touch. This inhumane government, not just in Gaza that is funding bombs to kill Palestinians, the same inhumane government built another wall, another fence, to separate those families who were already separated by a wall. So you can't even touch your family members anymore. There are shelters at the border where women spend months who are literally fleeing violence and trafficking and drug cartels to bring their children to safety in this country. And let's remind ourselves that they did not, or not wanting to cross our border, but our border been crossed their border, so we could be clear. And so I want to remind you that as the media wants to say that our students are violent, that our movements are violent, it is this country that is the most violent country in this world. And shame on a country that killed over 1 million Iraqis and thousands of Afghanis and have terrorized the global south and terrorized immigrants and migrants at the border. How dare you have the audacity to call our movements for freedom violent when you are the purveyors of violence all over this world? So don't worry about what they say about you now. I promise you, and for you it may be closer in time, that one day you will get to look your grandchildren in the eyes and say, I was on the right side of history. I got up and said, I will not be silent in the face of a genocide that is funded by U.S. taxpayer dollars, nor is funded and supported by the universities that I graduated from. You have faculty who are also here. Some from this university and other sister colleges in the neighborhood.